Hey everyone, Mac Story here. I just want to share a little bit about a post I did recently on LinkedIn. And what I was talking about in that post was the fact that so many people today make the excuse they can't find people because there's a labor shortage. That's all you hear about. I just want to clarify that in case you didn't read the post. I just want to make it real simple for you in this video. If you're looking at the entire population, the number of jobs available, the number of people willing to take those jobs, yes, there's a labor shortage. If you look at the numbers, you look at the statistics, there's absolutely a labor shortage. But that ain't got nothing to do with you. You don't need the entire workforce in the country working in your organization. You may only need 10 people or 20 people or 50 people, 100 people, 1,000 people, 10,000 people, even if you need 100,000 people. That's not everybody. There are like millions and millions and millions of people who are working. They're willing to work. If you can't find people to work in your organization, that's because they don't want to work at your organization. It's not because they don't want to work or there are not enough people to work in your organization. It's because they don't want to work in your organization. It's that simple. But see, that requires a leader to look in the mirror and say, oh, I can't find people because they don't want to work here. I'll give you an example. Let's say I operate a electrical construction company. And let's say I have 500 employees. That's all the people I need. Out of all the millions of people working, I need 500 people. Let's say I got 10 competitors in my area of operations. Let's say those 10 competitors, maybe there's 4,000 employees working in those 10 competitors. I only need 500. There's 4,000 available. If I can attract those 500 that I need, and I don't have to just pull from those 10, I can attract people from all over the country to move and work in my organization. So what I have to know as a leader is if I can't find people to work in my company, I need to make a better company. Because what I know is the great companies, the best companies, people will leave a job to work at those companies. And that's the other thing. People say the unemployment rate so low. Sometimes they use that as an excuse. Or everybody who's working wants to work, so we can't find any people. But I'll ask my audience, this is when I'm speaking. Have you ever hired anybody who had a job, they had to give you a 2-week notice? What you think they say? Absolutely. Most people have hired somebody who had a job. Then I'll ask them, have you ever hired anyone who didn't have a job? They could just start right away. Same answer. Absolutely. Most people have hired somebody who doesn't have a job. Maybe they're in between jobs or whatever reason they don't have a job. So what that tells you is everybody has the ability to hire somebody who's working and to hire somebody who's not working. Well, that's 100% of the people. It doesn't matter if the unemployment rate is 5% or 3%. Let's say it's 5%, keep it a round number. You can hire from that 5%. But the 95% of the people who are working, you can hire from that 95% too. So all these are just excuses. These are excuses that leaders make. The truth, if you want to know the truth, the reason you can't find people to work in your organization is because they don't want to work in your organization. That's the cold, hard truth. But if you think the problem is out the window, you're not going to do nothing to improve your organization. That's the underlying key principle here. But if you look in the mirror and you say, what Mac's saying makes a lot of sense. We can't find people or keep people because they don't want to work here. Then that means I need to look in the mirror and make my organization better. And how do I do that? I got to start with the leaders. Because the leaders of the organization are the people who create the organizational culture. And that culture is either going to attract people or repel people. So I just want you to think about that a little bit. Because I don't like excuses. I like people to own the truth. But sometimes the truth hurts. And I've heard a long time ago when I was probably 16 years old, I read on a sign I was passing one day. It said on that sign, it said, if the truth hurts, it probably should. Probably should. Talk to you next time.